All right, here we are. It's ready for an Avatar panel.
One more time, round of applause, everybody. All right, so before we begin, I'd like to ask a pretty amazing question to all of you. How is Disneyland treating you guys?
Are we at Disneyland?
Yeah.
Great.
Oh no, I'm still recovering. I'm 23,000 steps for 2 days in a row is too much for me, man. It's like it's taking a while. However, the Haunted Mansion is the greatest ride ever invented. I will die on that hill.
I played Private Red on the Pirates of the Caribbean, so if you go on it, you'll hear Azula.
Both times we were on it.
I know, my kids hate that ride, and I'm like, well, come on it, your mom's on it.
Wait, which one? Which one is that? Which one?
They want the rum, don't they, boys? It's the rum they want. You know, the one that was being sold into slavery, and now she's like...
Oh, the tables have turned. Yeah.
Went from a wench to a pirate?
Shut up. Shut up.
You went from a wench to a pirate?
So honestly, this is probably an amazing sight, obviously, for me to see. I can only imagine from the audience how you guys feel seeing so many legendary faces and iconic faces. Seriously, give it up for everyone. Seriously. So, on that note, I'd like to begin, and the first thing I like to start off with is something I call giving flowers. Some of you are very familiar with it in the last panel, but I'm going to do it again because you guys do deserve it. And that's basically me giving you guys, not physical flowers, but just words. And it's just my way of saying thank you guys. Thank you all of you, every single one of you, for what you've done, not just to bring your characters to life, but body it over the years. Carry the weight, trailblaze, really set the tone in society, go through many things in the career, into the industry, even outside, and just really make Avatar more, and Korra, the entire universe, more than what it was, and just, obviously it was an animation show that we all loved so dearly, but the meanings behind it, and you carried it well. So thank you all so much. Appreciate it.
We're so lucky.
So, on that note, let's begin. When you look back and you think about just having the privilege and honor of not just having the characters that you helped bring to life and brought to life, obviously, but more so the honor of carrying that weight with you over the years and knowing that you guys made a difference in so many people's lives, and obviously social media, and you see everyone come to your tables. What does that mean to you when you look back and knowing that you have accomplished a lot, but more so you touched so many lives?
Dante, you know a little bit about honor.
It's incredibly honoring. I mean, it's humbling, really. I think it's a wild thing, Comic-Con, Nostalgia-Con, these kind of things. It's all about trying to be, hopefully as you come to Hollywood that you're a part of some kind of great story. When you look back 20 years now that we were part of one of these really phenomenal stories, and we all have a little piece of this story, and it's impacted the world in such a way that I don't think any of us thought it would when we initially did the show. And so I think I can speak for a lot of us. Really humbling.
People always say that things are humbling when they're bragging about themselves. It's very interesting.
I always say that it's a wonderful thing to be part of somebody's happiness. And whenever we're fortunate enough to come to one of these cons, we get that back from all of you. We're lucky enough to have done many different things that are part of your happiness, but of the projects we've all done, it's very rare that we get to be a part of something that really is a force for good in the world and is teaching really positive lessons, which is why I think this show will always be evergreen in that regard, because it's more than just entertainment that made you happy. And that kind of stuff is like a Big Mac. It's great and we all love it. But it's another thing when something you loved as a kid or even as a young adult touches you in a kind of spiritual or philosophical way. And that's what we're lucky enough to have been part of this show. And so, yeah, it's a tremendous honor to be able to give that out and get that back from all of you.
Yeah, so on that note, the Avatar universe doesn't shy away from heavy topics, that's for sure. More trauma, loss, obviously. How do you think the show balanced that with humor and water?
Yeah, just throw like a pratfall at the end. Just like talk about genocide for like 10 minutes and then, whoa! Right at the end, I come in and I fall. Yeah, no, I mean, they did I think the balancing force, they led so strongly with, I think, the comedy and the action that made the show so appealing to a younger demographic, that then to be able to take those quiet moments and talk about very serious things while you were already there and wrapped, and they had you there, makes it this beautiful, multi-generational story. We keep hearing of stuff like this, like, oh, I got my kids into it, I got my grandparents into it. And I think it is because it balances this humor and these very thoughtful, heavy themes so well.
Okay, so when it comes to, you look back at the nations and the culture and the design, obviously the animation, but there's more into that. What is it that sticks out most to you when it comes to whether it's Fire Nation, water, you name it? What is it that sticks out most?
I mean, I love the distinctive martial arts styles. I love that they really took great care to accurately animate these different influenced martial arts styles for each nation. I think that's a beautiful level of attention to detail, and really cool. And then it sets up so well that then you get to see, obviously, because the show's about an avatar who does all of the things, so you get to like see these distinct styles, see someone learn them, and then synthesize them and put them together. It's just like a very cool visual marker throughout the show that I think was handled really elegant.
At some point during every panel, oh, this is as far as that goes, I think. Okay, I'll just stay tied to the corner. Oh, yay, okay. I usually end up just sharing love for Mike and Brian, the wonderful creators of this lovely show, obviously. But they spent so much time traveling, researching, adding detail, like creating character. That is why this is so good. Like, we got to do the fun part, but they did so much, like, they take such gentle care of their characters, and like even Toph's bending style being different than like the traditional earthbending style because she's like she learned differently. Like all of these little things that just make it so authentically wonderful. And I always say like we got to do the fun part because we got to come in when like the world was kind of built and we just got to like breathe some life into it. But like they're truly like the biggest masterminds. Like our job is the fun part, and like obviously it would not be the same without like Jack Sena's hilarious cactus juice crash out. We need that. We need that. But like because of that, that's why all the nations are so like specific. And I love that. Like I'm so appreciative to them because without them we wouldn't be as good without them. They made it what it is, and we're just here as like their representatives almost. So I don't know. It's been really cool finding out even more nuggets as I like get older and rewatch it again, like all of you guys. And I'm like, oh, I didn't catch that the last 7 times. Now I know something else. And so it's very cool.
Round of applause, everyone.
That being said, the Fire Nation is very cool.
The hottest and the coolest.
So, on that note, when you look
Don't
back,
flatter yourself. You were never even a player.
so what do you think about the Avatar universe? Like, what is it about it that really makes it timeless and such a classic and really culturally impactful as it has always?
Oh my gosh, that's such a great question. Greg, I feel like Greg has worked
I got
out-
This is
Yeah.
Uncle Iroh's rescope.
I thought about this, and I think it's no secret that we live in increasingly dark times. And Iroh says, if you look for the light, you will often find it. And I truly believe that one of the reasons the show is so impactful and resonates 20 years after it was on the air is because it is light. It is a point of light that people are reaching for in a dark time. And I think it just sort of reminds us how to behave. At the end of the day, how to be kind to each other, how to behave. Certainly, I think one of my favorite things about the series is that Aang does not kill Ozai. And I think that's just one of the reasons. Or the Iroh, for example, forgiving Zuko so easily. And I think it is. It's a point of light that we're all sort of reaching for, and I think that explains its popularity in these, times in which we find ourselves. I also voiced a character called Aku, who's a demon, the opposite. The opposite of Uncle Iroh, and I'm sorry to tell you guys, I think we're living in Aku's world right now. Sorry about that.
The High Priestess agrees. Kill the samurai!
Thank you so much, everyone. Round of applause. Awesome. Now, looking back into your careers for a second, right? All of you have starred and been part of some very amazing, successful IPs or even characters in your dog's life. And we can't thank you enough for that, all of you. So on that note, how has being a part of Avatar, the Avatar's universe, affected your career or personal life?
It made anything else we get to do maybe not as cool.
It ruined everything else.
Thanks, Craig. You said it for me.
The way it's affected my personal life or career, I've done many, many things. I'm the guy, when you come to my table, they might come for King Bumi, but then they're like, oh my God, you're that. You're the guy in the gorilla suit and SpongeBob. I'm like all of your childhoods in one way, but I'm always like the sort of unforgettable guest star, but I never get like, I'm not the Hulk. My friend Tadej Torres. And, but King Bumi, as soon as he got his Funko, the gatekeepers let me in. And I got to sort of meet and be with all of you and be with all my friends here, who I never got to meet during the show, because a lot of them were kids and the adults worked separate or they went all over. So occasionally we worked together. But yeah, so Bumi has been a wonderful doorway for me into all of this and all of you. So
it changed my life because I don't have to be a paralegal for the Walt Disney Company anymore.
Well, you said you get to party too hard at Disneyland.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I mean, I would say it changed my life. Like she said, I mean, usually you're going in and it's just you and you're in like a dirty booth by yourself and you're like, well, this is kind of depressing. Well, they're dirty and smelly and
Dirty?
some of these booths in the valley are they're disgusting. All right, maybe just me. But yeah, they're not.
Mind is a dirty booth.
Well, that's for sure.
It's real dirty.
You guys know my nickname in college was Gutter Girl.
Oh.
Because I'm always in the gutter.
She wasn't a great bowler. It's not what you think.
How
She
dare
wasn't a
you.
great bowler.
Get your minds out of the
Kids,
gutter.
get
I
your
thought she
minds
said
out.
butter girl, and I was like, oh.
Yes,
That
it
was
was
some butter too. I was like, what kind of butter are we talking
So
about?
my mind is a dirty booth. It's probably
Let's turn
true.
to an American
But they were
girl.
just not great. And then going to Nickelodeon, you're like, oh my God, like this is great. So it was just, it was a dream, So of course it changes that. And then getting to work with people in the booth was extraordinary and changed the chemistry and changes everything you get to do. And I too felt that I started doing puns only like 3 years ago. So I didn't know what this was and didn't get to meet all of you guys. I mean, when was the first time you did a Comic-Con? Like how long ago? Right, like so long
time.
ago. So I came in at a recent and then was just like, this is the greatest experience ever. So that's how it changed for me personally. So it's been amazing.
Round of applause, everybody.
Olivia, how did it chance for you, Olivia?
I'm the one who talked him into doing cons.
She actually did. We were doing the show, and she talked me into doing the cons, and I thank her for
It's
this.
just lonely. Tara Strong got me to the cons, and she was just doing all those My Little Pony cons, and she was like, you should do it too. And I went and sat at a table with no one came to talk to me the entire weekend, and Tara just had like lines out the building. I was like, you just wanted to make me feel bad for 2 days, didn't you? Anyway, but now I'm very grateful.
But everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked.
And I'll just quickly say too, like just to sort of tie together what you said and what you said, Greg. What's so beautiful about this universe is that we may feel like we're not as accepted or feeling as seen or as safe in the world at large, but the extension of the show we got to do, the shows we got to do, means that I leave these cons feeling so much more hope. The same way that the show gives hope, which is this like it's a cycle. everything's a circle. So we get to feel that hope back as well, and we kind of really need it right now. So we get a lot out of this also emotionally. So thank you for sharing with us.
We love you.
Congratulations! Congratulations to you and Dante on your award for your podcast. Give it up for Jennie.
I'm sorry. Wait, which one?
Oh. Good pick. Good pick. I don't know which one you want to promote at the top.
It's been good.
Who here has seen Braving the Elements? Who here's listened or watched some of it? Do we have who here? Oh my gosh. Okay, wait. So the rest of you haven't seen? Who here knows what Braving the Elements is? Okay. So wait, quick plug.
It's a podcast we do. Janet Varney created a podcast during COVID, and she reached out to me and said, let's watch that show you did 20 years ago that you haven't really ever watched. I'm like, okay, let's watch it. And then we go through every episode, and we've done 3 seasons. Our 4th season just dropped, and we start Korra, which is phenomenal. We get to go watch Korra in the whole new time, and we become PhDs in Avatar universe.
Now we're like, you want to talk Hama's
You want to talk?
backstory?
You want to talk
Hama's
Avatar? I'm ready to
You want to
drop.
talk Jet? Let's talk Jet.
Let's talk Jet. Do you want to talk Hana? You want to talk Hama?
Yeah, but everybody.
I don't want to talk
but
Hama.
everybody here has been on it, and it's my favorite thing in the world, and I'm a huge nerd for the Avatar verse, and it's been so fun.
It's amazing to do. Please check out the show. It's really good. We're very proud.
And
It's
they
free
also
when you get
gave us
podcasts.
an easy answer when all of you come and you say, well, how did you create the voice of King Bumi? And I'm like, you know what? There's a really good podcast where we go through the whole
Check out that
episode
podcast.
inch by inch, and I tell you, and then I don't have to answer the question.
Janet and I were friends before she was Korra, and I remember being in the parking lot at Nickelodeon, and I was like, "You're Korra?" And you're like, "Yeah." And I go, "We're gonna get to do cons together."
Yeah, she
And
talked
then-
great, totally.
And then you
Also-
became like the voice of the whole thing, and I love it. So there's no better representative for
Round
our.
of applause,
You're the
everybody.
she's the nicest of all of us.
100%.
Amen.
Thank you so much, Ray. You're banished. You're banished.
I'm sitting right next to her.
Yeah, but she's still nice.
Okay.
All right, so seriously, round of applause one more time, everyone. Okay, so we know that the Avatar universe, culturally dynamic, kindness, love. There's so many messages to be taken away from it. One of the biggest ones that I say would be representation, diversity, probably be very big one, and in fact much needed, right? And that takes me to Korra for sure. Janet, I know for sure that you did a splendid job, an amazing job, not just being an ambassador for Avatar Universe, but more so what you did with Korra and just the effect that it has worldwide. Now, on that note, how powerful do you think that representation was when it aired and even now?
Oh, I mean, it's something that we all see all the time. We have so many people who grew up on the show, who become storytellers, who become world builders, who become voice actors, who become on-screen actors, stage actors, who saw the representation in the first series and in the second series and said, and listen, we all know, like, most of us are white. And we have had this conversation many times, and we will have it many times again. The amount of people that have come up, people of color have come up who say, this show made me, I felt seen, I felt it was possible to tell the story of my community in my way and world build in my way. And for all of us, we are very much ambassadors of Mike and Brian and of Nickelodeon and of just the world of Avatar, because that we are here to say, please go do that. Like, the things that Avatar fans create of their own, whether it's fan art or fan fiction or a totally new world that they built because they felt empowered to do that in some way because of a thing we got to just be a small part of, is we'll never stop being grateful for it ever. That's the amazing gift.
And for Toph specifically, of course, she is blind. I did not grow up with cable, and so I thought, there's tons of cool, badass girls, tomboys who, blind, whatever. And I'm sure there's a bunch, people with disabilities. Like, I just thought there were lots of cool characters, tough, badass chicks out there. And then I did not know. There's a couple, but there's not a ton. And people, especially in that era anyway, and so I get so many people who come up, and it just so many different ranges. It's not just visual disability, but those who maybe are in a wheelchair or mental disability. And hey, what's up? And they're just like, Toph was the first character where she wasn't babied, and she joked at everything, and she was a badass, and she was stronger because of it, and it made me be like comfortable with myself, and I knew how to like make jokes that other people knew how to hang out with me because like Toph was chill. It was just so cool. So freaking cool to be like, oh, I'm so glad. I'm so glad. And I usually try to, you know, I kind of joke about it when people come up to my table and if they have like a walking stick, they're like, hey, like, I'm such a big fan of Toph. I'm like, really, why? And I'm like, I tell me, I don't understand. Why would you be a fan of Toph? Yeah, so it's just been really cool to see the influence of like a disabled character, but it's not, it's her strength. It's a superpower. It's not a disability. It's rebranded. It's her superpower. So it's really cool voicing someone who's so badass. I love it.
Round of applause. Okay, perfect. So a few more questions for me. Avatar and Korra feature rich cultural influences from across Asia and the indigenous world. How important do you think that cultural respect was to success?
I
Yeah,
don't hear
you
you.
take it, Dante.
It's like Janet's so good at answering things.
What? Okay. Oh. Okay, so I think kind of referring back to what Janet was saying earlier about representation, what's been interesting to just kind of see now that we're venturing into more Avatar universe live action is when people have come up to me or have written me, they're always so appreciative that now there's a lot more representation. Not that the OG wasn't already amazing enough, but I think it expands the world as people view it, right? They see themselves in this universe that is represented really well. And so I think it's really great to see how your feedback to the creators and to production is being reflected back. And it's really exciting to see. When I first heard that they were going to do more Avatar, I felt so stupid because I was on Twitter, which I don't touch anymore. But when I was on Twitter, they were like, we're doing a new Avatar. And I was like, and if I don't play Azula, I'm going to be so pissed. And they're like, it's going to be Asian American. I was like, oh my God, yes, oh my God, yeah. People still come up and go, are you gonna? I'm like, no, they're gonna. I'm totally behind it. I think we got our shot at the OG thing, and it's a different time now, and it's about time. It's high time. But it'll be interesting too to see, you know, what other storylines they create, and who else is going to be included in the Avatar. We should have been the Ember Island players, and we should be the Ember Island players. Everybody
Or a cameo, like a cameo, something in the wind that's like,
Can I be an animal, I guess? Some sort of something, you know?
yeah, like a turtle duck that's
Yeah, you know.
black. I don't know.
Round of applause, everyone.
I think he says round of applause because he's like thinking about what's the next question. And he's like, how about a round of applause?
Okay, so this is for every one of you, right? I'm sure whether in the booth, outside the booth, when you were making it, or even in the show that you think of, were there any favorite moments that you guys all had, either individually or collectively, that stick out more than others?
Well, in a general sense, some of us reported together, like May and Jack and myself and Dante and Bray, like they would try to schedule to have us be together a lot, but Zach, the Avatar, he's probably frozen in ice again somewhere. But he was in New York, and the rest of us were in Los Angeles, and I was recording either by myself or maybe with one or two other people. So I didn't really meet everyone until they had like a premiere of like the final episode, or I guess technically like 4 episodes, on like the Paramount lot. So then I finally got to meet the Avatar, and like it was just cool to finally actually see everyone together. And so that was definitely a highlight from, you know, my little 12-year-old, 13-year-old brain 18 years ago. Being like, oh, and like I got to meet everyone. I remember all the snacks and like going into the big theater and everyone like all huddled in, like watching all the episodes. It was just such like an impactful moment of like, we made this thing and now it's over. And I was like, I got to meet everyone. Okay, bye. It was like, oh no, but it was such a cool moment because until that point, yeah, you're used to being like in a booth and you're just kind of focused on your own scenes, and so that was a really cool moment.
Or two.
Or 9.
Or 9.
People are like, what is your name? And there's a lot of them. I was like, I keep getting married and I just add more names on there. A lot of hyphens.
All right, that's awesome. Okay, so the last question I have for all of you is, besides the characters that you obviously played, which other character either you wish you had a chance to play or your favorite character?
I mean, Jet's so cool. I don't think I can pull it off. I don't think I come off as cool.
What a simple, uncomplicated guy.
Jet's cool through and through. I have nothing but positive opinions about all of his decisions.
Cabbage Man for me. Definitely Cabbage. Easy to remember the lines. Wouldn't even need a script.
Shout out to James C, who plays the
Yeah, I love James.
We love
I
James.
think it'd be fun to go Sokka. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm trying to get up there and get all like goofy.
Shut up. I need work. You have to do it right here. I need to practice in my dirty booth at home. Dirty booth.
My favorite character is Appa, actually. Look, because he literally carries the show. Yes. I would be so dead. We'd be so dead without Appa. But I've been having fun trying to copy Gray's voice because as I've gotten older, I start copying her a little bit. And when I get angry, I just start sounding a little bit more, and then I'm banishing everyone. And it's a little bit itchy, but I'm working on it. So
You miscalculated.
I was never even aware.
I could be Azula for a day.
Azula would be great.
I think it'd be fun. Fine,
Step off, bitches. You're getting too close.
I mean, Jet's my usual answer, and you took it from me, so I'm gonna say Sokka too. Why not? I play Sokka. I audition against Jack all the time. He gets it, but you know. I can audition for Jack DeSena. Yeah, you'd be a great Jack DeSena. You're a great Jack DeSena.
Yeah. Be a great guy.
Am I a newsboy? When did this happen?
Yeah, I got my news back, see?
Jack DeSena
I
right
got the
here.
news right here, see?
Round of applause for that.
I told you, sugar. I had the cake and lunch, and I think it did something.
All right, so one last question for you guys from me. We'll turn it over to you guys. Can you guys give your best Azula impression? Every single
Why is everybody trying to get my job? It's not fair. Trust is for fools. Fear is the only reliable way. Fear is the only reliable way. Trust is for fools. Fear is the only reliable way. Trust is for fools. Fear is the only reliable way. So mean. This is so mean. Trust is for fools. Fear is the only reliable way. Trust is for fools. Fear is the only reliable way.
I only do one voice. Trust is for fools. Fear is the only reliable way.
I will not imitate Azula.
To celebrate becoming an only child.
Azula always lies.
Trust is for fools. Fear is the only reliable way.
I'm not supposed to follow that. Okay, I'm gonna go back to the OG and try. Trust is for fools. Fear is the only reliable way. Try.
I'll go sincere. I'll try right now. I've never tried. Trust is for. I hated it.
Yes, just
Wasn't gonna get there. Wasn't gonna.
fear is the only reliable way. Mic drop.
I dropped it. There we go.
round of applause, everyone. All right, everyone, we're gonna open the floor for you guys. So, who has some beautiful questions?
And the winner is.
Hello, handsome.
Hello. This question's for Dante. Okay. The Fire Nation has been wondering, would Zuko have been a better father to Katara's babies than Aang?
That's an easy question. Zuko had a family of his own, so I'm sure his hands were full with his little firebender babies. But I mean, Aang's his homie. Yeah, he was good, and he's just a regular father. He's a better father to some of his children than others.
No, but he had that shot at Katara first.
He had a shot. But
She gave him that special water first.
Yo, I know. You're talking to me. I know. This is the deal, you know. She has a waterbending child. She has an airbending child. No firebending baby.
But she could have had an icy hot child.
I know she could have had a Todoroki, but we didn't have it. Didn't have anything.
That's an interesting question.
They're the top tier, by the way. Y'all looking real top tier over here.
Yeah. My question is for Gray. Since Azula's brain was cut short, what would she have done first as queen of the cards?
Cut short is a really nice way of saying it.
Cut that short.
I cut my bangs too short, and then my brain got cut short. That's what happened. Gosh, I would have found my mother, I think. Yeah, but baby made her my second in command. Forced her to be. Oh, I love that.
Good folks in the Fire Nation. Good folks.
Good folks in
A lot of good folks in the Fire Nation.
Good folks.
Hi. Thank you, all. I have a question for all of you. Sorry. For all of you, what would be your favorite arc for like anybody that grew up? Mine was Zuko's. I love Zuko.
That would be. That's a gorgeous, gorgeous art right there.
Noah's Ark is pretty
Oh,
You want to drop the mic now?
cool. No.
Yeah, that's the right decision.
Arc out of all arcs in the history of arcs? I don't know.
Ark of Asylum.
I think a lot of I also agree with Zuko. It's really hard. It's really hard to beat the Zuko arc. I mean, it's such a growth. It's crazy. You're
It's so good. Like I was not aware of this arc when I started it.
yeah.
I didn't know where it was going. I thought it was just gonna be like my guy right here with a ponytail, running around the world searching for Zach. But it's an all-time. It's one of those all-time great arcs that it's kind of hard to beat for sure.
For me, probably would be in one of the Hokada moments that is really kind of an archetypal moment, is the arc of when Katara finally tells her father all of the ways that she hurt in his absence, which all of us, many of us have been through with a parent. None of us ever get that kind of closure. So that the show gave that father-daughter moment, and it was written so beautifully and animated so beautifully. And that scene I got to do with May that day was just so beautiful that for me, it wasn't really my character arc. It was my daughter's character arc finally coming full circle and having that closure and then getting that back from her father. I mean, it created this moment that we wish we could all have when we feel that absence in our life, and the show gives that to people. Another reason why it keeps living on, because, and the father-son moment as well. They both have those two moments with Hokada, and so even though he's not all the way through the show, his presence is deeply felt in his children, which is very true with most absent parents. They're not around, but they weigh very heavily. So for me, that was a beautiful, beautiful story arc.
Can we talk about Hama arc one time?
Shout out to Hama.
Shout out to Hama because she created bloodbending, and it becomes so important later on in the world of Avatar. Hama.
We just don't. I'm just saying.
Shout out to Hama.
We just don't know what would have happened to Hama had she not been shut up in prison. She went
Tortured.
crazy.
Tortured.
That's not her fault.
And then she
She
created
doesn't-
the dark art of bloodbending that lives on. And she taught Katara.
Yeah.
Needed.
Like it or not. Yeah.
Like it or not. I mean,
But when we ask all of you, Dante and I definitely love asking people what kind of vendor they would be. And so often, like to a shocking amount, people are like, oh, waterbender. And we're like, oh. And before we can finish, they're like, because of the bloodbending.
I'm like, wow.
What?
You're not supposed to do that. That's illegal.
It's a healing.
I'd like to bloodbend a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Makes life interesting.
Jack DeSena, I love you so much, man.
Thank you very much.
Sokka and yourself.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Way too much.
And then I'll take the moment to do my pun that my favorite arc is the boomerang because it always comes back. It's
Yes.
I spelled it too.
Yes.
Thank you for giving the floor to my pun.
Yes.
Hi. So mine's not really a serious question. So for all you guys, what would be your on your characters like top 5 Spotify artists?
Follow me on Spotify. If you do, I'll give you. I have Azula stickers at my table. They're really big and they're one of a kind, and you can come get one. You don't have to buy anything. They're free. Just show me that you're following me on Spotify. And I'm going to play on this stage at 7 p.m., 7 to 7:30.
Wow.
That's right. That's right. We'll be
Abby,
giving it 7 Gray live. She's amazing. Gray belongs at the Grand Old Opry.
Maybe
She's
it might be
phenomenal. Would have Gray on her Spotify.
Gray's on everyone's Spotify.
I would have Lord, the girl Lord. I would have Olivia Rodrigo. I would have Johnny Cash. I would have AC/DC. There's one left.
Mine's just a lot of rock and heavy metal.
Yeah, it'd just be weird. And then I'd have like Queen's Right, I think. Those are my
I think Zuko would listen to incredibly boring podcasts. I think it would be just exclusively like really detailed history podcasts and engineering things. I think he would just be like, I think he's like an insatiably curious guy, and he would just want like very minor details about the world presented to him constantly.
Comedy podcast. Comedy. He would-
I think like Zuko has like some emo playlist and some like old like Depeche Mode. And he's just listening to Morrissey, feeling some type of way rolling around on his boat by himself.
Suki would have Fight Like a Girl, I'm Just a Girl, Girl versus Boys, and every single boy band available. She likes that.
All right, everyone, one last time.